Hello. What's up, everyone? It's your boys, the 33. We're going live pre-LEC today, just to do a quick VOD review of Vitality versus Fnatic from yesterday. Should be arguably a banger. I'm also going to just put some sound on in my ears as we do this, because it's going to get very quiet, shall we say. But we're going into picks and bans. We'll start here. Let's just discuss how pick ban went yesterday. First few games, Heimer, Ashe, and Jhin all made it through the majority of games. And usually we saw Caitlyn banned out first, and then the follow-up being a Lucian. The Vitality game saw a bit of a shift with Zeri being removed, and also Yuumi. Everyone enjoys when Yuumi gets removed. But as a whole, the draft from Vitality, you look at the bans that came through, hinted that they would first pick Caitlyn, with the pick being left open. And we don't actually see that. Instead, we do see the Rise that in the Koi game got first picked. And that's a bit of a shift that I don't think was too surprising. Rise having a lot of spell slinging abilities at the moment. It's the likes of him and Galio that are seen quite high in priority, similar to Syndra, that basically have roam potential to get to the lanes. And they're very, I would say, strong at what they do. There's no, issues with that. And then what we end up seeing is a trade of the bot lane. I like this with the Varus coming through, because of the available top pick ADCs, there's Varus, there's Ashe, and then there's Caitlyn, that all are top priority at the moment. That's kind of how we have been seeing it. Varus's poke is just phenomenal, and I'm going to be honest, how bot lane's been this year is a lot more focused on generating pressure early. It's the reason why Heimer gets banned early, and Lucian and Nami, just the fact that they can trade so heavily without facing too much negative outcomes from it. That being said, I like this Vitality response pick in the Ezreal to the Varus. It just means he can safely farm by queuing, not having to deal with the Varus poke, and kind of forces Varus to farm more than harass and force away the opponents. Now we round out the first phase of draft. Both lanes, basically everyone has kind of mirrored their pick ban. Junglers have been locked in, mid laners and ADCs have been locked in. Graves versus Kindred is kind of an interesting one, especially because you look at Razork as a player. It's not something he's realistically known for, and I don't think he uses his champion too well in this game. It's not very aggressive as what you'd expect a Kindred to be, considering they want to stack up them marks early. I don't know by the end of the game how many marks he gets, but it is, I wouldn't say a high total of marks. And with how Razork likes to be, you'd expect him to be picking up a lot of kills. That's how he was for Fnatic last year, but maybe now they're trying to facilitate more into Reckless. Draft-wise now, top picks that are available, there's the Jax. Wonders Gragas is left open. We are seeing support bans and then the Fiora ban. I don't like the Fiora ban, I guess. I mean, Photon maybe thinking going for it. I'm not too sure on his champ pool all the same. But Fnatic here have a very safe Gragas pick. You just lock it in. You don't have to show them your support. And realistically speaking, Gragas just is blind. is good. Like, you think what could be picked up by Vitality? You've got Jax, that's strong. You've also got the Cassante. Gragas is still strong into that. I like this Gragas pick more if that was shown then, because it kind of forces Vitality to reveal their draft, and then you could pick the Rakan if you feel needs be to counter it, because it is an enchanter meta, and what enchanters are left? There's Lulu, which wouldn't be terrible for Varus as a pairing, and there's also Seraphine. I mean, Seraphine isn't that strong anymore, but it's still an enchanter that could come through, considering Renata and Karma got knocked out the pick ban. But Leona into Rakan, if I remember correctly, Leona is the hard counter to Rakan. You just are able to lock down the Rakan before he can charm up a lot of targets. You just E him as he's running towards you, and then you Q him quite easily because you prep the Q before you do it, and you lock him up for a long time. I think Fnatic have just got hard counterpicked in terms of their bot lane. It's going to be quite hard for them, I feel, to put pressure down in order to get ahead here. As, I mean, Razor needs to get moving across the jungle quite quickly, and then Fnatic realistically, they're built to fight and chase you down, but you could say the same with this Vitality draft. It's very, I'd say, simple for how Vitality want to play versus the Fnatic poke. It's personally going to be very easy for Vitality to play this one out if they get an early lead. And the reason why we're doing this game, I'll be honest, is purely because I think this was the most action-packed game. Nice shirts there. However, I'm gonna be honest, this matchup shouldn't have had this many twists and turns. It realistically should have been very straightforward in terms of how it was played, but it actually was not. So, on the riff we go. We didn't actually get the intro song, which is kind of sad. Ooh. That's huge for Fnatic there. So, I'm gonna go back a little bit more. Okay, so we start off, I mean, we can't exactly see it too well here, but what essentially has happened is Ezreal has stepped up forward in the bot lane. So, actually, it's weird. So, Rakan has gone and tried to secure early lane for Fnatic. I know it's very hard to see. I'll actually just do something for you guys. We'll get the minimap, because that's kind of what we're looking at here, is said minimap. Hopefully I can get the thingy on my screen. There we go. Nice. Okay. Once this opens, there we go. Okay, so Rakan here. Is it capture? Is this actually capturing my mouse? It's not. There we go. Hi, mouse. So Rakan here is securing bot lane. I believe he's put a ward down there, and is essentially in a place to stop Ezreal getting early poke onto the wave, because he had to step up into a Rakan. It's a very good position for Rooks. You've got over here the Leona. She's setting up for what could arguably red start for this jungle of Vitality, where you actually see is up here. It's kind of the fan effect, shall we say. This is the fan setup for lanes. You got the 5 fan laid out for Fnatic, and a similar sort of thing for Vitality, where each laner is kind of matching up against one another. But the bot side is where we're actually seeing the pressure. And what's interesting is we will actually see the Graves here go down to red buff to start up. But the only reason he's up there is to stop an invade. To see if the Kindred is going to go for an invade early, with the fact that Rakan level 1 is slightly stronger. I feel the Fnatic level 1 is stronger than the Vitality level 1. Purely because Graves level 1 is kind of a hard thing to deal with, because you either have 3 auto attacks or a Q that takes a few seconds of delay to actually do damage. Kindred, I feel, slightly stronger level 1. Yeah, level 1 Syndra now with a 2 stack of Qs is stronger than Ryze level 1. Yeah, Fnatic have the better level 1. So, realistically speaking, if Graves, to me that looks like Cassante, but I know it's Graves. If didn't see Kindred, you probably see him invade, get a ward down here onto the red buff. But because Kindred's there, it means that the whole Bond fiasco actually happens, where Ezreal is forced to E first. And I'm actually surprised at the fact that Ezreal is E to start with, because it means he doesn't have that harassment. Because what we end up seeing is Rooks stepping forward, using his Ignite, which is for a huge summoner burn early, gets some extra gold from the ward. That's actually huge. That's a Fnatic buff early on. It's very hard for them to, in my opinion, to win lane now. And that's kind of something I feel Bo realizes is he needs to go early and cause some disruption to that bot lane of Fnatic, because that's a very easily set up lane. They've already forced Ezreal to back once, but it's huge, in my opinion, how this start for Fnatic has gone. And there we go, we actually do see Graves transitioning down to red, as expected, purely because the red burn on the auto shotgun is so huge to clearing the camps quick. That's why we kind of see this. Now, bot lane, we see such aggression out of Rooks and Reckless. They're forcing the Ezreal off the wave. And so what does Bo do? He sees the overstep and steps immediately forward. This is way too aggressive from Reckless stepping forward there. Immediately ignited. He's forced to die. That was such a good gank by Bo, because he saw his bot lane was in trouble. He immediately went and freed him. This now means Reckless loses a lot of CS, as Kaiser is just going aggressive. Top lane, standard. Honestly, I'm enjoying this play from Bo. He's stepping up, in my opinion, for Vitality during this game. Another player who stepped up quite a lot was Photon towards the end. But watch this. He takes red. He knows that this brush was warded, because that was originally a Vitality ward that got cleared out. Boom, easy. He knows that there's a ward there, so he just avoids it by going over the wall. Such a good play from Vitality's new jungler. Standard lane, though, now, as you look at a gold, surprisingly Reckless still has see, well, a gold lead up until this point. It's slightly just even now. We'll speed through this now. But as a whole, how this early laning phase has gone so far is as expected to what essentially transpires. I think Vitality punished over-aggression very well. It's pretty simple. Let's just skip forward a bit more. So back in the game, lanes are even except for jungle, where there's a gold lead, and then support there's a bit of a gold lead. Now, returning back into the jungle, Kindred, trying to secure a mark here, is going to get it. That's the first mark of the game for her. She actually snuck in, used the smite to actually get that mark. That does mean, though, because Bo retreated back into his jungle, look at Razork's pathing. Straight through mid lane here. Gone from taking that crab, walked past this ward here. So Bo and Vitality know what's happening. Immediately walks straight to this scuttle crab down here. That's a double scuttle early for the Kindred. And you kind of expect it, considering Bo, he sacked his kind of jungle clear to relieve pressure bot side that needed relieving, because summoners wise, cleanse being down is about the same as heal being down for Neon. And both ADCs have got flash still. So that's huge, because we could, in theory, just see an all-in from either laner. And with the laners being very even, ideally we should see this, as all the positioning, again, just going to pause here, the positioning from Vitality. So they have here the ward to see if Razork comes from there. Because what we pointed out a few seconds ago is they spotted him here after taking Scuttle here. They expect him to be taking the Scuttle here. But Neon and Kaiser, I feel, should have let the wave push back into them instead of being this aggressive. But this is good play from Rux and Reckless to soak the pressure in. Because Razork has, again, defied the expectation of this Vitality bot lane, who expect him to be on the Scuttle. And instead, they're going to get punished, because Kindred is immediately in. The Zenith Blade was really good by Kaiser, and he's getting burnt down. He isn't going to die, and this is honestly very lucky for Vitality to get away. And they don't burn any summoners onto Neon. So we'll just watch this again. I want to see the focus from this bot lane. So Rux is in this brush, and Kaiser's being smart. He's stepping back because he expects something's up, with the fact that Razork kind of hasn't shown on the Scuttle. You would have thought maybe he'd see the Scuttle coming down here, but he doesn't, and as such, he's backing up. And when you also see Rux stepping forward and Reckless knowing full well they've just died and lost like some safety, realistically speaking, you just watch this. Kindred sees the mark put on her, flash out of Rux onto the W'd up Kaiser. In my opinion here, this is the right target from Rux, but I want to see where Reckless and Razork focus. So, from this position, Reckless is not hitting anyone. Still. And Kaiser is basically out. Razork has given him the pathway out. purely because he got hit by the Zenith Blade. And here we have Neon, who can technically flash over here, or E over, E, and then you're going to have to either path down here to the turret, or flash to get to safety. Also, notice, Reckless didn't even attack Neon there. In my opinion, I'd much rather get the summoners out of the the Ezreal here, for a repeat gank, than try and kill the Leona, who has level 3. We know that she's got the Q, W, and E. She hasn't spec'd into 2 points into 1 champ ability. Instead, she's put them all into all 3. What annoys me is, because the Shield of Daybreak is up, she's going to walk out scot-free. Whereas you look at the Neon here, has no heal. Realistically speaking, would have to burn Flash if he wants to get to safety if they focused him. But instead, it's just a flash forward, greeting too hard onto Kaiser. And if Reckless had focus fired Neon early, that would definitely been a flash and possibly lethal on a kill. Sadly, we don't actually see that, and instead, it's nothing gained from Fnatic, and everything burnt in terms of flashes out of Razork. Razork burnt flash for that. In my opinion, that is kind of worth it for Vitality. Sure, you give up lane pressure and CS to Reckless, but you don't give him a kill. It's still an advantage in the jungle. Bear in mind, this play has given Bo a let back into this game. He was given so much CS off that, and he's allowed him to get another 100 gold. And an advantage. Whereas topside, we'll go to topside, we'll talk about this for a bit. Nothing's really happened. There you go. That's how you describe top lane. It's just very standard. Mid lane, Razork has been spotted. Just a great engage from Rooks. That's all I need to say. Rooks gets the kill. That was kind of greedy from Perks. I know what happens here, but we go back here. When a jungler uses sweeper, you learn that he is there. So like, that technically means that you're kind of giving up your how do I say this? He uses sweeper, ward gets turned off, Perks immediately should back up. He doesn't, he stays around here, thinking, okay, what could be in that brush that could kill me? Oh, probably the Kindred. Well, as we've just seen down on the bot lane, she's just burnt flash, so she can't realistically come over this wall and try and kill you. Instead, what we end up seeing is Rooks hiding out the way after Scatter the Weak lands. Notice Vitality are trying to counteract this play. Perks, I wouldn't say baited well, but he just gave a freebie over and just watched the Rakan. As Perks here would, without flash, when did Perks burn flash? I don't remember for when Perks burns flash, but a lovely E forward, into W, E back, easy peasy, good kill from Fnatic to get back in. Razork, at this point we know, these two have no jumps for safety. This is where I like Vitality's aggression. E forward after the slowdown onto the Kindred. A nice smoke screen to slow him down and root him. Then it's the Glacial Augment on the pathing, meaning Humanoid's in a bit of an issue position. So's the Rakan. But it's a lockdown, one shotgun blast, auto reset, shotgun blast. Flashing forward is the Jax into the stun. Bonk. In my opinion, Jax took 1-2 extra turret shots there. But that's just a 1-for-1 that shouldn't have been a trade, in my opinion. Now, lanes-wise, Photon giving up pressure topside now. But he's just got a kill. That's huge. As bot side, Rux catches... just poke. So, we're slowing down. Watch this fight again. Yeah, Kindred should be spotted. The scatter weak shouldn't have hit. It's just a good follow-up from Rux, an easy kill. Now, Bo and Kaiser playing very aggressive. Once that jump comes through, they know they can kill the Kindred. She has no escape tools. She's not level 6, so no Lamb's Respite. And then boom, flash, bonk. Easy peasy, good kill. If that stun was a little bit better out of Humanoid, like, if it came out earlier onto the Jax, maybe that wouldn't have been a kill, but I don't know the cooldown on Scatter Weak at that point, so we could honestly have saw a very easy kill trade back in the favor of Fnatic. I believe that was a mark cancelled. So Kindred was trying to get another mark. Bo, well, knows that Razork's up here. So realistically speaking, trying to protect Photon, who just got a kill. But Razork sees that Photon is a bit aggressive. And it's just a very good shadowing of the enemy jungler here by Bo. Razork's not being allowed to make many plays. And Bo is just capitalizing on it. He's generating gold for himself as Harold? Okay. So, what happens here is very interesting. So, topside, Wunder and Bo trading, and whoever wins that would more than likely win the Herald. But Razork knows this, so what does he do? He ignores that. He sees that Perks is playing very aggressive. He's trying to cut off the rest of Fnatic from going into the jungle to contest this Herald, so that the two-man squad of Vitality can secure that for themselves. Kaiser here, spotted on this ward. He's kind of in an issue spot. His flash just has come back up. And so Razork tries to either A, burn the flash, but if he doesn't burn the flash, which way will Kaiser be forced to go? Well, due to Rux being here, Kaiser has to go this way towards the rest of his team. So we watch this come and play out. He actually gets put into an issue position here, Kaiser. He knows that if he goes that way, due to Kindred being spotted, Perks is going to die to the two-man squad of Fnatic. So what does he do? He gets caught in between because Perks manages to walk away safely using the phase rush. And so it's just a bit of an unlucky situation here because he thinks, oh, I need to stay here and protect my mid laner from the Kindred. But my mid laner has phase rush and can get out. I'm now stuck here in the middle. So he forces a fight here, gets jumped on, stunned, and flash. Boom. Safe. Barely though. The ignite was ticking. This is kind of huge because I like this play from Fnatic because you're forcing some action and some questioning of the ability of the players on Vitality's side. Overall, this is very, very strong. And personally, I think that had Kaiser fallen, that Herald was almost certainly Fnatic's. I believe it still goes over to them because they chunk out Bo. But here comes Photon, forcing a flash out. I'm actually amazed he gets the flash out of Humanoid. But because he flashes that, it becomes very easy for the Gragas to flash, body slam. There's going to be a cast come through. Never mind. Why wasn't the cask... When did he use cask? But yeah, Wonder couldn't get it. Instead... Oh, this is interesting. So, Razork steps forward, trying to get marks. I don't know who his target is. But he steps forward. Photon jumps back in. Bonks. And it's a 1-for-1. And a shutdown. Somehow, he gets 300 gold for killing the Kindred. Wait, never mind. They're not shutdowns, they're just kills. That's a bit odd that you have the money value on the kill. Oh well. But yeah, 1-for-1 there. No one gets the Herald due to Kindred dying. And Bo being very low. Now it's... What we expect to happen is Drake Herald trade. One team's going to get Drake, the other team's going to get Herald. Pretty simple as a whole. Now, Photon gets a bit unlucky there with E, but the flash body slam from Wonder was huge. Oh, the Q from Graves. Perfect from Bo, chunking down Razork, and then an easy kill. I'm unsure if Lem's Respite was available for Kindred there. But if she could have got that off, that would have been huge because I think there would have been more casualties in that fight. Okay, here we go. Here's Drake for Herald trade more than likely. Bo is topside, so he will be able to see this. There we go. Easy kill on that. I forget what the soul is of this game, but look at the movement from Fnatic here. Because Herald hasn't been taken yet by Vitality, due to them having vision of it, they immediately come contest this after taking the Drake. This is kind of something that's important because it's very slow out of Vitality here. Let's be honest, they should have realistically have taken Herald then. In fact, Bo could in theory sneak back into the pit right now. Try and get it for free. Bot side. Bot side's being bot side. I mean, I'm not surprised Ezreal is getting pushed now. But I am actually surprised how jungle is shaping up right now. Razork should not have gotten this Herald. And because he's got this, it means that there's going to be pressure mounted onto the map somewhere. Personally, I would say it should go mid, as Humanoid has not got flash. So yeah, good play by Bo, forcing off the wave to Syndra. Means Perks can step up and more than likely get a nice back. But yeah, mid lane realistically should get the gold, or bot lane for Fnatic to get themselves back into the game. So, looking at marks now, 3 for izlogic. It's kind of huge. He's almost at that 4 mark point. I actually thought izlogic wouldn't have got that many marks this game, as another contestant comes through. Just phase rush out, baby. And another pause. Yikes. This just gives me a chance to refresh my voice, because I'm actually surprised that this game had 2 pauses. I forgot that it did anyway. So, the game part map, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. Game state right now. Personally, I feel this is favoring Fnatic for right now. As a whole, controlling objectives early is very huge. They've actually kind of come back into this one after what could be described as Bo getting Vitality ahead. But as of right now, what we could see is Fnatic using the Herald is what the next big stage or state of the game will be. And I think what we'll end up seeing them is drop it mid, and hopefully it gets humanoid to an excel point where he can burst out the Ezreal before a fight even begins, because the ultimate from Syndra should be enough to kind of keep an Ezreal low. Now, looking at builds, Gragas not going for like a Jarox build, going Everfrost, so that tells you it's going to be AP Gragas. And AP Gragas is a decent build, a lot of burst, but I would say a tank or a tankier top laner would be more favorable right now, with the fact that you've got 2 ADCs and a mid lane carry. Good dodge there from Bo. But they're using vision here. Vitality. Dealing with the Herald. 1 minute away. Fnatic just securing some deep vision that gets cleared out quite quickly. Realm Warp. Immediate flash. That's a burst combo. So, I'm not going to say too much on that. Oh, lovely flash out from... Oh, yikes. Wonder. He should die here. Yeah, 2 kills over 2 Vitality. Gonna be honest, humanoid there got caught out and then just bursted out. So much in terms of the combo there, out from Vitality. Burnt, but you look how much was used in terms of ultimates. Vitality don't have anything left to contest this Drake. And I personally think, yes, 2 kills for a Drake is kind of worth it in my opinion. But it does get Fnatic closer to Soul Point. And it kind of slows down the tempo of the Herald. Purely because the kills kind of forced it to go bot lane. But turret dies here. The 3 carries of Fnatic get the gold. And I think that's the most ideal. First turret of the game. And that is actually going to do a decent chunk to tier 2 turret. This is where Fnatic's tempo comes in. That's huge how they play this. Sure, you lose 2 kills, but you look what you get in return. Tier 1 bot. Never mind, you're going to get another kill. Never mind. Kaiser just out of position there. But you think you get tier 1 turret, a lot of damage onto tier 2. You get a Drake as well. I think that evens out the gold that Vitality got for the 2 kills. And this top lane, oh, lovely bop there. Good play there, actually, by Photon to get a favourable cast to try and stop Wonder from escape. But realistically speaking, Photon is a menace right now. He's got quite a big lead, and we're going to actually see Razor, oh, never mind, the entire Fnatic squad just coming in to punish him. There we go. Reckless now finally on the board. And Photon now shut down after getting a fairly dominant top lane. And boom, another turret over to Fnatic. As a whole, Vitality are slowing down in terms of how they want to play. And they're getting punished for it. And Fnatic just coming back after everything and just getting further ahead. But we return and look at the turrets for Vitality. Bot lane and top lane, very low. It just will take about one more wave from Photon and Perks in that top lane to get essentially an evening of turrets. That means that gold stays fairly even. As bot side, Photon again gonna get caught out being over aggressive. Lovely dodging out from him, but 3v1, yeah, he's just dead. However, what we end up seeing is Harold being dropped topside. This should be tier 2 for tier 2. I don't know if that will. It will get a charge onto tier 3. Boom. Easy. This is huge. So you get 2 tier 2s falling in seconds. So that's training your turrets. A lot of damage onto the tier 3 topside for Vitality there, which is good for them. But we'll look at how this goes. Razor has claimed bot lane jungle. Top lane jungle, topside jungle is cleared out by Bo already. I think tempo-wise, we're very dead even. Realistically speaking, you look at the gold across the board. Bot lane, well, support's even. And then the 2 lanes, so mid and top, even out. Jungle and ADC evens out. It's slightly ahead for Vitality, but it's, I would say, marginal in terms of item components and everything. Vitality, realistically, are slightly ahead, but that will be after they get this tier 1. So good play. But Bo flashed on. Yeah, that was just everything burnt out from Fnatic. And they get 2 kills for it. That's good. That definitely should spell Drake for Fnatic. But we watch this again. 3 men just collapsing bot. Very easy. Bo, he was going to clear the ward. He saw it with his glaive, umbral glaive, but he's getting punished. I don't know if Perks saw him. Not Perks, whoever was in the jungle for Vitality at that point on the bot side saw the 3-man collapse, but realistically speaking, both shouldn't have been there. And it just means that Fnatic get 2 kills for free. I think Realm Warp realistically should have came out earlier from Perks in order to escape, but it does not. So, as everything stands, Drake's soul is huge for Fnatic now. And Vitality are yet to kind of stop objectives. They've only gotten one for themselves in this game, and that was a Herald that got them to tier 2. I don't know what more could be said, other than the fact that Vitality, realistically speaking, are falling behind now. I think tempo-wise, it favors Fnatic right now, as they're getting themselves a lot of things on the board. However, the way Vitality win this fight, or next fight, is to just exert pressure on one side. They need to kind of get one member of Fnatic isolated. And I would honestly look at Reckless and or Razork. The 2 ADCs, you take out the Varus. Realistically speaking, there isn't that much AD damage out of this Fnatic squad once Reckless falls. So, personally, you take out that Kindred, but instead, it's again Perks caught out for being over-aggressive. And he's just chasing it down. Lovely solar flare out there. I don't actually know how many marks Razork has now, but it's a tier 2 turret. Hopefully. Never mind. I'm going to rewatch this. So, we'll go back quite a bit. Okay. So, what we end up seeing is, we'll go back even further. Perks going up top side. And we see a ping out from Fnatic. They see him here. Which means him trying to pressure topside and stepping forward is kind of a bit of a mistake. And why I say it's a mistake is you look at how Fnatic posture up. They know he has no round warp. Well, they should expect no round warp. He's not very good at using it, shall we say, to escape. And so they actually spot him probably with this ward here. And they also spot Kaiser going up to protect him. So now, the 4-man squad of Fnatic feel they're going to overnumber due to the fact Neon is in mid. So, they get spotted here, which kind of forces the engage out, which means when Razork goes over the wall, Rooks can then E to him and then stun up Perks. Instead, you would have thought that would have happened. Instead, Shirelius gets used. That allows Reckless to get closer to the play. And jungle versus mid, a bulky Rise versus a very heavy killing Indrid should arguably go to the Kindred, because Humanoid can just put orbs and kill off Perks. On the side here, Rooks, we're just going to watch, he uses his charm there. He thinks he can run past the Leona, who just cues him, stopping him from getting on top of Perks, but The Scatter of the Weak lands onto the Rise, meaning he's stunned up for death. Gragas actually TPs to this play. Jax does not. Jax realistically could have TP'd here. But with how this fight is going, it's not ideal for him to TP. So he's going to try and pressure bot lane and get an advantage there. Neon pushing mid. He knows that he can't get to this fight and impact it. So Vitality are trying to cross map while they lose 2 members. So, yep. Stun, boom, down goes Perks. Bit of gold there for Bo, because he just clears out some wards. Nice 30 gold, actually. But he uses his collateral, and from what I see, he gets very little distance out of it. He doesn't get any sort of damage. And as such, it's kind of a waste. I like the Solar Flare there from Kaiser, stopping the Kindred from getting close. But instead, it's a nice Scatter of the Weak out from Humanoid that forces Graves away and using his dash. So that's out of the equation for him getting into the pit for a few seconds. What's more, Kindred comes over the wall. And then it's Gragas. Flash, belly slam, damage, cask. Oh, it was a cask. Knocking him back into Kindred. Great kill there from Fnatic. Just the fact that we saw this ward get placed by them in that play. Vitality realistically should have expected that. And Bo realistically could not contest that. He should have backed away. Baron's now on Fnatic. And I'm going to say this. They should realistically get tier 2s off this. Top and mid. They've got a wave already pushing in. But we watch this again. Honestly, Fnatic played this very well. And old Vitality things are Perks being over-aggressive coming out. Stepping forward too much. I think this is overconfidence in some aspects of Vitality's play being shown, as they're going to definitely lose this tier 2. That cannon actually is going to get hit. But topside, yet again, Perks overstepping in my opinion. So, Drake up in a minute. Vitality realistically need this to stay in the game. Rux showing. It's kind of bad. It just means that he can't go for a surprise engage. But okay, before this happens. So 1, 2, 3. Jax. Okay, we need to look at the map position in here. If you can't tell, Jax is TPing behind Fnatic here. Perks has got Realm Warp, so he can get in if need be. And then it's 3 men here. Fnatic have a 4 stack. Wonder has no real way of getting to this play. And so, Kaiser and Neon. That's actually greedy from Neon. Neon uses his Arcane Shift, which means that essentially he's going to get bursted out now, purely because he'd have to burn Flash if he doesn't want to die. The reason I say that is because you've got Rux here, who, if you can't tell, is going to walk towards that. And it's just a nice scatter of the week out from Humanoid. Oh, the timing on it as well. The True Shot Barrage was being fired as the scatter of the week lands, which means that's no dodging available for Neon, and Ruggs just boop gets the kill. Photon forces 2 flashes out from Razork and Reckless, but now we have Kaiser in the middle of everyone. Bo coming in. Wunder is trying to bolt for this fight, but that's a lovely stopwatch out from Humanoid. Scatter Weak, not Scatter Weak. Syndrol, we'll call it that because I don't remember its name. Getting burnt down. And it just kills. Kaiser is forced to flash away. Bo can't escape. He's just killed by Razork. And Perks and Neon do a lot of damage in close proximity, I should say. The fact that Perks forces Razork to ult is huge. But the flash, that keeps the Drake out of Fnatic's hands. Photon just stops Kindred from living. Gets a cleanse as well. I like that trade from Jax, because he was going to die because Wunder was behind. But yeah, this was unlucky for Vitality, because they actually do good work here. They get Baron off of 2 members. No, they get it off of 1 member. Only Razork falls. But 1 for 3, that still means it's in Fnatic's favor. Drake's on the table. How's this Drake gonna be stolen? By Vitality? It's not. Let's be honest. It cannot die or be stolen. And Fnatic just managed to get a game-winning buff. Oh, I didn't even know the Chains of Corruption was thrown. But yeah, Neon just gets fucked. I'm swearing, but he's not going to get out of that. And a very easy play out from Fnatic. Just lovely bonks from Jax. Photon's very far ahead. We don't actually see it because the graphics have broke. But in my opinion, Fnatic are getting destroyed in certain aspects of the fights if they don't get picks. And Fnatic getting picks has been happening every time. So, how do Vitality get back into this? Honestly, it's side lanes. They've had Photon all game, being very strong on side. And with the fact that Mountain Soul is on Fnatic's side of the field, the extra shield and resist that gives just means that it's going to be hard to burst out on any member of Fnatic. I'm kind of waiting to find out how many marks this Kindred has. I'm waiting for the portrait to appear. There we go. 6. 6 marks, that's actually huge. So, realistically speaking, Vitality are going to lose if this continues. Bot side though, Realm Warp. Oh my days. I forget how clean that was. So he body slams before... So, it's a clever play. And the reason it's clever is the realm warp is more than likely going to catch out Wonder. But what he does is he Qs backwards to stop Jax from chasing down with the stun. He body slams first so that he cannot get blocked. Because the realm warp hasn't arrived yet, he's going to body slam so that he can get the most distance possible for when he flashes. It's then actually no, it's body slam into immediate cast. The cast positioning is actually perfect because it just is nearly on top of him, but it's in a position where he's going to end up once he flashes. So there you go. Perfectly timed, perfectly placed. Great play from Wonder as a whole. And with that, it's going to be turret trading. This is favorable for Vitality in terms of turret trades, and Flash being burnt onto Wonder means that he can't go for them aggressive Flash casts that he has been going for throughout this game. And as such, Baron is almost certainly going over to Fnatic with how this game state is laid out. And the only thing that I think would be where Fnatic don't get this is if Wonder dies and Perks and Bo just pressure topside and force the tier 3. However, what we end up seeing is a fight. Perks has TP'd in, and it's actually 4 members right now of... Actually, it's 5 members of Vitality versus 4. TP coming in for Wonder, though, to even out the numbers. But he has not got Cask, I don't think. I'll be honest, the graphics for this game were so scuffed, I can't tell. But if he does have Cask back, holy moly, that comes back really quick. Kaiser's chunked already. And it's just getting perked down to death. So TP comes through. Once it's here, Rooks, Shirelias, straight through Charm onto Kaiser. Kill the engage for Vitality early is his goal. But Bo fires an immediate shot onto the Rakan, who's going to basically be traded for free. So 1 for 1. As expected. Now Bo's in a position where he's going to lose distance because Shirelias is still active on the Fnatic side. He has no real escape tools other than Flash. And Kindred, with the extra range, is just able to fire in damage. Oh, that's huge. So, what we don't actually see, I want you to watch Bo's shotgun blasts. Ward placed by Razork. It's a control ward. He already had a ward in this brush that would have seen him, but he places it down so that the shotgun shell from Bo will not hit him, as Bo is going to look to turn. And so he fires 2 shots into that ward. Lem's Respite gets popped basically for free due to Perks firing over the wall, but Bo can't actually execute him because of that ward. Oh my days. That's huge. But anyway, Flash from Humanoid, aggressive, scatter of the weak, and then it's just the magic shield out from Bo from, I believe it's Moore, or his, what's it called? The Ruins. Keeps him alive. He then knows Humanoid has no escapes. He's just flashed forward aggressively to try and get the kill. He jumps on top of him. Boom, 2 shotgun shells. If he didn't hit Humanoid with it, he was getting health back from the minions. It means that Bo outplays, shuts down the Syndra. This is now Vitality's fight to lose. And that's purely because Humanoid goes over aggressive. Razork has no safety tool with the Lamb's Respite anymore. He's just immediately shotgun blasted. And he's ticking down. Boom. That's a triple for Bo in his first professional game. Reckless tries to trade back, but it's stunned City. And the TPs come through for Vitality. This is huge. And I'm just got to say, it's too much aggression out of Fnatic. They did not need to be that aggressive. Tier 3 turret falls. They've still got bounties. They get 1 bounty for free. I don't know when bounties end, because there's no actual graphic for bounties on the bottom half of the screen. But that's 2 bounties for Vitality. They've still got them. It's still on the turrets. Wow. So yeah, Vitality get very lucky. In my opinion, that shouldn't have been a fight for them. Kaiser and Rux dies. Bo gets unlucky. But Perks forces Lamb's Respite, which is huge. It's a gore drinker. The healing came through as well. That's such a good play from Vitality. Realm Warp. They're trying to catch Wonder. Oh, that combo onto Bo is huge, but Gragas is caught. Kaiser, though, is caught on the other side, and the re-engage. Bear in mind, they've got the shielding here, Fnatic. They're bulky as hell. And with the bulkiest member taken out, Photon just jumps forward. That's such a good Zhonya's. Because he used all his abilities. And now it's just chase down City. Vitality are able to continue this chase. It's just Neon free firing in. Lamb's Respite is huge. And he's just going to get so much use out of the opposition's Lamb's Respite. It means that Kaiser stays alive. And it should almost certainly mean this inhibitor falls. Actually, the inhib's dead. They've still got bounties! What the hell? The turrets shouldn't be all the turrets falling. Reckless is alive. That wave can die quite quick. Turrets down. I think there's a bit of indecision out of Vitality, but they force the cleanse out from Reckless. They're taking him out. That's just yikes. That's Vitality winning. One fight, one misplay defined this game. And it was literally the flash from Humanoid. If he didn't go for it, Fnatic could have backed, pushed mid, got themselves gold that way, and pushed for game in a more set up play and a more ideal situation. I don't think how Fnatic played this was bad. They played this game very well. It's just that team fight that I start to question sometimes Fnatic's aggression. It feels like they're still playing with Hylissang. In a sense that they're trying to make Rux be the aggression and the craziness that got Fnatic a lot of success over the years. But, again, it's a different player. I personally think Vitality played well on their own half, but they didn't play well around objectives. They only got one objective that entire game, and it was a Herald. Fnatic controlled the tempo, in a sense, for a lot of the game. And it was just one misplay that cost them the game. I would also say bounties cost them the game, with the fact that Neon was able to get so much gold off of them. Same with Perks. Because they, well, I would say down and out, but Perks was down and out in that mid lane. Neon was fairly even with Reckless, but not enough, I feel. And as such, that game shouldn't have lasted that long. And it should have been cleaner from Fnatic. Granted, it's week 1. Everything should be back to more standardized play next week. Or today, once the game actually goes live. But I personally found that game intriguing. It was very close, to say the least. But yeah, I'm going to end my stream here. An hour of just talking about how much of a good game this was. Fairly good, to be honest. I also want to just add this. When does SK Gaming's jerseys drop? Because holy flip, that's the most colourful jersey in the league. Second is mad. The rest of them are just plain black with another colour. I feel that SK have the best jersey in the league. And I'm going to make that be in my collection. Because if you don't know, I collect a jersey every split. SK's is going to be in this splits. Now, I guess I'll see you guys for the teamfight breakdown that you're getting between Koi and who today? Koi versus someone. It's their game today. I'll work on that during the week. But yeah, thanks for joining me. Hope this stream went well for you guys. And I'll see you guys then. Peace out.